we're live and we're recording.
All right.
Let me just put it on full screen and we can get this show on the road. All right. Hello. How are you? Are you ready to answer some more questions?
I am ready to try.
Okay. So, what I always struggle with is trying to figure out how to phrase it as a what if. That's what I had struggled with last time.
Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be.
I know, but this time, I think I got it.
All right.
All right. So, what if we took, what if I took just some cells from, let's say, my brain,
Okay.
and then turned those into stem cells, right?
Okay.
And then those stem cells, respectively, were each turned into an egg and a sperm. And if those two things combined into a fetus, would that just be me, since I'm both of the offspring? Would it just be like a genetically copied version of myself?
Well, yeah, but you wouldn't be able to turn a cell into a stem cell. You just need to take some of your stem cells.
Okay.
And so they take, if you had two stem cells and you managed to get one of those to become a sperm cell and one to be an egg cell,
Right.
then that would just be your DNA.
Yeah. So would it just be like...
It would be a clone. It would be a clone of you.
It would be a clone.
Yes.
Absolutely?
100% genetically identical.
That's awesome. Okay, wow, I thought that question was going to take a lot longer.
No, not really.
Than that.
It's half of your DNA, half of your DNA.
Yeah, so then it's 100% of my DNA.
Yes.
So then it's just me again?
Yeah.
Like, it'll
I
be
mean-
exactly the same as me.
Yeah. I mean, there's the chance that it would express certain things differently than you,
Like,
but
cognitively or, like, physically?
physically.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It's like there are traits in you that are
Dominant,
that you have.
recessive.
Well-
Dominant and recessive?
Yes.
Okay.
And since it'd be cutting your DNA in half to make those,
so
you could be combining two recessive things.
Okay.
And making that more dominant.
So it could
But
be
it-
completely opposite of me then, as well, is what you're saying.
Genetically, it'd have the same DNA as you.
Right.
But it wouldn't necessarily 100% look like you.
Okay. Interesting. Wow, that was a lot faster than I thought. All right, that's okay, though. So then, on to my next question then. If I could get a clone like that, for donation purposes, would I be a 100% match with them? Like, let's say...
If you were cloned that way and there was some sort of variation,
Yeah,
like even like in blood type,
yeah.
then no. But if you had like a straight up pure genetic clone, like just grew you from some of your cells,
Yeah.
then yes.
Okay, so like, let's say my kidney was failing, and I could just be like, "Oh, hey, my clone, give me my kidney,"
Mm-hmm.
and it would just work.
Well, yeah. As long as they were healthy kidneys.
Awesome. All right, so then like, let's say that I have a history of heart problems.
Yeah.
Could I theoretically live forever just by stealing my clone's hearts?
Well, it depends. Because each of those clones would have to reach a mature enough stage.
Yeah.
They would all have to have perfectly... If all of your clones were grown to maturation and had perfectly good functioning hearts,
Yeah.
then yes, you wouldn't be able to live forever, but your heart would not be the thing that kills you.
Okay. So,
Because you can't continuously replace every little thing.
okay. Hang on. Let me think. So, let's say I'm having heart problems.
Yes.
Okay. And then my clone, who had started growing, let's say, like, I don't know, a couple of years prior.
Okay.
Okay, well, maybe not a couple of years. It'd probably need to be a lot longer. Okay, let's say that I'm 80.
Okay.
Let's envision I am 80 years old.
Yeah.
My heart is starting to fail.
Yeah.
Let's say my 26-year-old clone is going to donate his heart
Okay.
into me.
Yes.
That would work.
Yes.
And my heart would keep going.
Yes.
Okay, so
well,
now,
if it was a successful transplant.
right. With a successful transplant, could I just keep doing that in a vigorous cycle? So then I have a 26-year-old heart, and I just let that keep pumping and pumping and pumping, and then I become 80 again, heart-wise, but then I have a third clone who is now at 26. Could I replace my second 80-year-old heart with my new third clone's 26-year-old heart?
Yes, you could continuously doing that with hearts, but other areas of your body would not live to be 160 years old.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, let me think. So, let's say theoretically, what organ couldn't I replace with the clones?
You could, depending on the situation, all of them. Like, the only thing is, if you did a brain transplant, you wouldn't be able to get your memories. So it would really...
It wouldn't really matter.
Yeah.
Okay. So...
But otherwise, like, your eyes...
Just about everything.
Yeah.
So, like, theoretically, I could live, like, just about an infinite amount of time if I just kept replacing, and I never had a brain issue. And then I just kept replacing my internal organs with my clones.
Yeah, I mean, your bones might fail, but then you can have the argument, well, what if you just put your brain in the clone's body every time your body had problems?
Oh, could I do that?
Well, we don't know.
Okay, so because that's never been done.
Yeah, put a brain into someone.
Interesting.
I mean, if your brain was able to stay alive long enough through the transplantation process, you could technically keep all your memories and just have a younger body.
Okay. Interesting. So, with the brain transplant,
Yeah.
I would retain my memories.
Possibly. We have no idea.
Right, we don't know. Okay, so what do you think would happen? Do you think I would keep my memories since, like, all the memories are stored in the brain?
I think that, yes, you'd keep your memories.
You would. Okay.
Just from what I know. Like, full disclaimer, completely out of my...
Right, because, like, it's never been done before.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, in your opinion, do you think I would keep my memories?
In my opinion, yeah, I think if your brain was able to stay 100% healthy through the whole process of being put in a new body, all the connections were made to the new body to where it was just a perfect transplantation process.
Okay.
Yes, you'd keep all your memories.
Right. Okay. So now, I'm going to kind of combine these two questions. I started with stem cells.
Yeah.
Okay. So a stem cell could be turned into any cell, correct?
Yeah.
So could I just steal my clone's stem cells to keep me healthy for a prolonged amount of time?
If you could continuously get stem cells put in your body to keep all your cells working and functioning properly and had no problems, yeah, if you could successfully do that,
Yeah.
you could almost become immortal.
Ooh. I like it. So, by stealing... I just need an infinite amount of clones. And then
Or
by...
just a way to create stem cells.
Oh, I don't even need, like, my clone stem cells. I just need stem cells in general.
Well, compatible stem cells.
Compatible stem cells. Like,
Yeah.
so clones obviously would be the most compatible.
Yeah, because they're just yours.
Right, obviously. So that would work. I could just, like, live for just about an infinite amount of time with enough stem cells that are close enough to mine.
Theoretically.
Well,
Like,
by old age causes, like by like disease and like organ failure.
Yeah, because if you keep a good supply of fresh, healthy, new cells going in,
Right.
because at a certain part your body just stops making fresh, healthy new cells. Like they die off faster than they can be replaced.
Yeah.
And that's how things fail.
Yeah.
So if you could get stem cells in there to essentially create like a fresh batch of new cells that will start doing that, then yeah, your body won't fail you.
This opens up a whole new realm of possibilities.
Yeah, you just have to know how to get a stem cell to do what you want, how to get it to get to the place you want it to be, and how to make it so it doesn't just sit there and make a big old tumor.
Right. Stem cells can turn into tumors?
Well, if it goes to an area it's not supposed to and just starts dividing into cells that you told it to, then you just have like a big glob of cells that aren't where they're supposed to be, and that's all the tumor really is.
Okay. So, now, is there some kind of ethical ambiguity involved with that? Do you think it's morally right for someone to, say, kill off their clones by stealing their organs?
It's funny that you say it, because it used to be a thing where, not necessarily used to, it was, in a few cases, it's been a problem where families will have another child because one of their children needs an organ, and so they have another child hoping to grow that kid until they're old enough to where they can donate one of their organs to their sibling.
Interesting.
And there's a huge ethical problem about that, and quite a few people got in a decent amount of trouble for it.
Right, as you should, because
Yeah.
it's like a completely different human life,
And
and so would a clone be, but it's
Technically.
also your clone,
No,
so
see,
it's
it
your
depends.
life.
If you did a clone and it was able to grow up and live and be its own person,
Yeah.
definitely a problem with ethics there.
Okay.
But if you like grew in like one of those big floating
Tubes.
yeah, like in movies when you
Yeah.
see like a
They're
horde
like-
of clones
yeah.
being grown, like if
Yeah.
it just grew in that, like it never had any cognitive function of its own, like you're just essentially just growing organs in tubes. Which that's another thing. If you know how to grow clones, you should just be able to grow organs. So you wouldn't even need the clone. That's just like wasted mass.
Right. Okay. So you're saying like if I was able to grow clones, I could just use the technology to grow clones just to replace myself. So I wouldn't even need to go through the process of creating clones. I could just keep improving myself. Essentially.
I mean, yeah, because you could if you can make entire new bodies, you should have the technology to just make entire new organs.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting. So, do you think that if you were going through you're stealing everything from the clones route,
Yeah.
do you think you would need to replace your skin cells? Like, get a skin transplant? Also, is a skin transplant a thing?
Yeah. What they do is they usually actually grow skin in a lab and place it on. They're called skin grafts.
Oh, yeah.
And those work pretty well.
Well, I thought they
so-
just took skin from a different part of the body.
Well, sometimes they do that. It depends on how much they need.
Oh, okay.
Like if it's just like
Like a small kind of cut
like
thing,
or like
you
a
would
deep
just
burn.
so then
They'll-
in those
they'll-
cases you'll grow it.
Yeah.
But if it's like an entire like section of the arm, you'll probably just steal it from somewhere else.
It really depends on the like what's going on. I don't know the details that would make them decide that.
Okay.
Like it could be if the hospital's able to make it. It could be, how deep it is, what needs to be replaced.
Interesting.
Like if say you got like a huge chunk of your cheek gone, you
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
be able to set a thin layer of homegrown skin on that. You'd need to replace it with some other kind of flesh.
Right.
But if you were in like a fire and had 3rd-degree burns,
Yeah.
you could graft new skin onto there.
Okay. So, in your opinion, how much like missing amount of skin would you need? Like just go based off of like a ball size, so like golf ball, ping pong ball, like increasingly sizes. How large of amount of skin would be missing before you would gaff it from different parts of the skin versus just taking the homegrown skin?
You see, I don't think it's an issue of size. I think it's an issue of placement and thickness.
Okay.
Because there are people who have like whole arms and legs regrown. But, like there are people who have like face transplants from like gun wounds or acid being thrown at them. And that's where they actually will transplant a face onto a new body.
Okay.
Or like say someone like a suicide attempt blew out part of their face, they might pull flesh from like a thigh to replace that.
Okay.
But
So for
it's-
like when it comes to like large amounts of the face, you'll usually not grow it.
see if it's just skin, like purely skin that needs to be replaced,
Yeah.
they'll probably grow it. If it needs like the fleshy bits as well,
Oh, okay.
they'll probably transplant it.
Okay. Kind of like the Mission Impossible where they like grow their own face. Like not like a mask.
Oh, wait, what?
Okay. So like in Mission Impossible, they like take head scans and then they'll make masks out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like growing skin, is it something like that?
No, not at all.
Not at all. But just
It's-
like with the real skin.
It's essentially like growing stuff in a petri dish. It actually comes out in little patches like that, and they have to they're very thin. They have to carefully lay them on, and the body has to accept it, just like it has to accept any other organ.
Right.
It's a very finicky process, but it's very interesting if you look it up.
Yeah.
Uh,
So like you couldn't change your skin color by that because your body would reject anything that's not going to be compatible.
Well, no. What is grown
Yeah.
is it's just transparent. Like it's
Oh.
almost like little pink slabs.
Okay. So it's more so just like it's not even about like making it skin again. It's about putting a layer between you and the outside environment.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that just it grows into your body.
Okay. Interesting. So it's like, is it like the pink slime they use for like chicken McNuggets?
No.
Oh, it's
No,
completely
you can
different.
look it up if you want. And,
Yeah, I'll
and see.
I'll bring it up. I'll open up some Google Chrome. Okay,
See.
so
Skin graft.
I'm assuming that's how you. Oh shoot! I'm assuming that's how you spell it.
I think so.
All right. Oh, like this?
Yeah, go to images.
Oh yeah. Here, I'll go to images. That'll make more sense.
So it'll be like
Oh.
patches. It's layers that
Okay.
go on.
I see. That one's kind of cool looking. The one where it's webbed. It's a little gross, but
Yeah, it's not super visually appealing,
right. Yeah.
but
I mean,
not many surgical procedures are appealing to the eye.
That's true. It's like, like at that point, it's like you don't really care that it looks like. It's more so getting that protection that the skin provides.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like with that, and your body obviously accepts it, and then like, do you get the nerve endings from it?
The nerves are in the deeper layers of your skin.
Okay, so like the skin, but like you can obviously still feel things through your skin. So like, I'm assuming that even with the graft.
The graft is for like the top two layers. The nerves that you find are in like the third one, and they'll grow in.
Oh, okay. So like it's not gonna be like it's like just a dead zone. You're obviously still gonna feel it there.
Yeah. If you have a one that's deep enough to where it gets in and cuts off the nerves or burns them off, then there's no really replacing those.
Okay. So is this like exactly the kind of same as like it's mock skin? It's not gonna like be stronger than regular skin.
No, it's right away. It's actually much weaker. Like it's very delicate.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got to grow in properly.
Okay, so do you think that like at a certain point in time they'll eventually make it so it is stronger than normal skin?
I think their whole goal is to get it just to be as much like normal skin as possible.
Okay, so they're not really like
Yeah, they're not
for-
trying to upgrade.
They're why not? I would love just to like somehow get into like some kind of accident that just rips open my arm and then I just come out with even like rhinoceros skin.
I don't think they'll ever try to do that.
I guess like
the goal is anytime there's an accident is to put you back to the way that you were beforehand.
I guess that makes sense.
Like we're not looking to improve.
Yeah, I guess you have to improve on your own time, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What about that in like other fields? Because like I'm assuming that because like I know that they're also trying to grow like working organs
Yeah.
in that way. And I'm assuming that's pretty much all stem cell research,
Um,
more or less.
that I don't know. It's part of it is using technology, and so stuff that acts like organs
Okay.
that not necessarily is. Yeah, I feel a lot of it probably would be using stem cells to where it's growing one fresh.
Okay.
Other times it'll be just like trying to grow heart cells or liver cells or whatever, and just having those grow out into a full organ.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's something you'd actually have to do a little research on, but
Right. Okay. So then, with the skin, they just want you as close as possible to the original. But what about with like organs? Like, do you think that they're trying to make an organ that does its job better?
I don't think they've hit the point where they can make one that does its job
Like normally.
to the point.
Right. Yeah. But like I'm saying that
if you
like
could-
when we get there.
If you could fast forward to the point where we can throw out hearts like it's no problem,
Right.
I have no doubt that they try to make those more efficient.
Interesting. Okay.
Like
so,
that way there's no problems down the road.
Right. So like why aren't we doing that with skin, do you think?
Well, you can't really improve skin because how it is the way it is because that's the way it optimally acts.
Okay.
Like-
yeah, I see what you're
Like,
saying. That
you
makes
could
sense.
make it thicker, but then you could run into problems where it's stiffer, it doesn't grow quite as nicely, it doesn't stretch the way you need it to.
Right.
It's harder to give shots to draw
Oh,
blood.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
There's a
thicker's-
whole lot of things to consider. Whereas an organ, it just once it's inside you, it just has to do what it has to do.
Interesting.
So if you can put in a heart that will pump for the next 50 years,
Okay.
that's awesome. Or if you can get a liver that filters a lot better than a transplanted liver would filter, perfect. But stronger skin could just cause more problems.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think of that. I just thought of it in like one thing only. It's just like, yeah, you'll get less carpet burn. But like I didn't even think of like the practical uses of like needing to have shots or like if they need to draw blood for any reason. I just completely like just went over my head about
There's
it.
always a ton of stuff to consider when you're messing with a design that's been tried and true for thousands of years.
Yeah. I guess that makes a lot of sense on why certain aspects you just want to keep mostly the same, but then, you'd want to improve upon the internals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm good on the stem cell stuff. I'm good on the cloning stuff. I'm good on the human anatomy stuff.
All right.
Let's get into the weird part of science.
Oh, dear.
I'm talking cryptozoology.
Cryptozoology.
Yeah, so like, that's kind of going into the realms of like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, Sasquatch, Yeti, Chupacabras,
Yeah, I
yada,
gotcha.
yada, yada, yada. I guess I'm not completely done with the anatomy bit. I'm done. I'm done completely with the human anatomy bit and
Yeah.
the cloning process. But, so, let's say that we find Sasquatch.
Gotcha.
And then we find out that his kidney is a match to me, who has a failing kidney.
Okay.
Could I steal Bigfoot's liver, or his kidney, his kidney rather?
If it is compatible with you 100%, they used to do that with pigs.
Like, wait, humans and pigs?
Yep.
Like pigs' kidneys.
Well, I
work-
don't know if it's kidneys in particular, but they used to take certain organs and things from pigs and use them in humans. Like they'll use a pig heart valve, and a human heart to replace a human heart valve.
Whoa, that's great. Okay, so then obviously Sasquatch is much larger than I am.
Yep.
What if his kidney was too large for like?
Then they would not put it in your body.
Interesting. Okay, so then let me think of how to phrase this. So what if what if a Sasquatch's kidney was failing, and then like my kidney was too small to fit.
Well, see, too small is okay. It just wouldn't function because it'd be better to have something doing the job than having nothing doing the job.
Okay, so like what you're saying is, if it works, I could theoretically donate my kidney to Sasquatch.
Yes, 100%. If it was a compatible kidney, and one of his was fine, the other one was failing,
Right.
and for some reason you wanted to give yours to him, it'd be better for him to have 1.5
Yeah.
than to just have the one. So it would work.
Okay.
But where if he was losing both of his, and he got both of yours,
Right. Let's say if I was like in a car crash,
Mm-hmm.
I'm an organ donor. Sasquatch can have my kidneys.
so he say he gets both of yours.
Yeah.
They would keep him alive to an extent, but
Yeah.
they would get worn down, and he'd probably lose them at a younger age.
Okay.
They wouldn't be able to hold up for the whole whatever the lifespan of a Sasquatch is.
Well, what do you think a lifespan of a Sasquatch is? Like, knowing what a Sasquatch is, being humanoid, but just like, you know, more like gorilla-esque, I suppose.
I'd say, humans live averagely up to like 80-ish.
Yeah.
I think
I'd
it's
say
our
about. I'd
normal
say just
lifespan.
about past 80. I'd say
And,
the 80 to 90 range.
Because we've been improving our lifespan
Through,
as
like,
medicine's
medicine.
getting better.
Yeah.
Like on average, like sure, there's some people way back in the day that lived to be crazy old, but on average, we've been consistently getting better through modern medicine.
Right.
They don't have medicine, so
Fair.
I'd say they're
You know
probably
what they do have though?
What?
Probably essential oils.
You can stop.
They have natural remedies.
Natural remedies.
They all live
Well,
in the nature.
Yeah, they have nature, but then you'd have to ask what to what extent is their intelligence? Like, is it human level? Is it in between human
I mean, you have
and
to,
monkey?
like, they'd
is it
have
monkey
to-
level?
They'd have to be pretty darn smart to not be discovered for this long.
Probably, but I don't.
So,
it,
do you think? Okay, so
to get back to lifespan, I'd say probably you can bet around 40 to 50 years
okay,
is what I'd give them.
40 to 50 years. Okay, but now they have like larger organs.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know. They're about like probably an 8-footish man.
Mm-hmm.
So like, assuming that it has the exact same like organ system of a human, but just bigger.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes them live longer or shorter amounts?
I don't think it would have a huge effect. Larger doesn't always mean better. You'd have to take into consider their lifestyle, their metabolism, all
Well,
that
you'd
jazz.
Have to assume it's like pretty great, always on the run, extremely good at hiding, only in like organic diet. So you'd have to assume that it's like somewhat healthy, even without modern medicine. Because like most animals in the wild don't have modern medicine, and they can live for a while.
Yeah, but it's all for them.
I guess. Okay.
Like a mouse has like a 2-year lifespan,
Yeah, I guess.
and a cat's got what, like 10 year. A dog has 13.
Yeah. I think cats live a little bit longer than that.
I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Maybe 9 times as long.
No. Yeah. So I'd say it'd be shorter than us,
but not
not
by
a lot.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I don't know. Like, for me, I'd feel that it'd be a little bit more than us.
I definitely wouldn't say that.
Like, I mean, I don't know why, but, like, I feel like just it being alone by itself, just going off of pure instinct, and that instinct being don't get found, just somehow to me makes it think that it has a competitive advantage and a lifetime aspect.
Well, that would give it an edge in a few lifestyle things, but lifespan, like, you look at some of the best animals out in the jungle or forest or whatever habitat you're thinking of, like the ones that are best at everything have the best advantage.
Yeah,
but they don't necessarily live longer than we do.
I suppose. I guess that makes sense.
Yes, I give them roughly 50 years, give or take 10 years.
Okay.
I'd say 50, because like if we look up say the lifespan of a gorilla.
Yeah.
Which
you're gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, which is probably 30 to 50 years. 30 to 50 years.
Okay.
And
okay. Seeing that,
then,
it starts to make a little bit more sense.
In the lifespan currently of humans.
Yes. Lifespan human.
Which is currently 79 years.
Impressive. So yeah, just about 80.
I'd say Sasquatch probably falls somewhere in between.
Horses live up to 20? I guess that actually makes a lot of sense.
I had a horse that was 22 years old.
Yeah, I have horses now that are older than I am. And they're older than Sawyer is, so yeah, they're just about 30, which makes sense because they're like getting up there. Which is a little off topic. Okay, what about centaurs then?
Centaurs?
Yeah. How long do you think they live? Because they're half horse, which is 20 to 30, and then half human, which is 79. Like, do you just take the average of the two and think that's it, or do you?
Probably.
But like, you also have to think of like other things because like they don't have access to modern medicine.
But I mean, if you put a centaur in modern day,
okay.
Like if you do a centaur in the day that they were like thought up, then it'd be somewhere in between what horses were and what humans were at that time.
Okay.
So at that time, I'd say probably the average was 40 years old for people.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll give that to you.
And so I'd say centaurs probably be around 30.
Okay, so let's assume it's modern times.
Modern times.
A centaur is getting the best possible human and equestrian care available to the market. Do you still think it would be lower than the average humans?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Because it's still got all of those horse parts.
I guess that makes a lot of sense.
It's like it's human cells.
It's
like
more.
Cells.
There's more horse than there is man. So
yes.
I guess that would make sense on why it would be lower than a human's. Mm-hmm. That actually makes a lot of sense on why it should. Do you think there's like a competitive advantage being a centaur?
Complete disadvantage. As far as life goes.
The only advantage that I think of that a centaur would be is like you can just move faster.
Oh, well, lifestyle things like, there's probably one or two.
Well, I mean, I suppose you'd have like a larger heart going off of, you'd probably have a horse heart.
So that'd be a whole debate upon itself. I mean, you've got the human and a horse chest. So which chest has the heart, or do both of them?
I would assume both. So I'd assume that you just have two sets of organs, both horse and human organs.
Yeah, probably. Otherwise, your horse part would be all empty.
Yeah, and like that wouldn't work because a human heart could no way pump enough blood
to an entire horse body.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless you have, or do you think it's just all horse organs in the human chest?
No way. No, I'm guessing two sets of organs that are interconnected.
That's actually kind of awesome. Like, I'm not gonna lie, having two sets of different organs, that'd be sick.
I mean, yeah.
That would be totally rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd definitely be
but you know what wouldn't be, though? If you were a centaur, you know how much harder it would be to, like, skateboard? That's not so rad.
Imagine 4-leg roller skates, though.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine just a regular horse on horse skates?
What if break their leg and have to be put down?
Oh yeah, that's true. So okay, then like okay, so like that's a normal thing. It's like, you know, a horse breaks its leg. Horses' legs are meant to like self-destruct, and it's very hard for them to recover from that.
Yep.
So like putting it down, that's like ethically moral. Do you think putting down a centaur when it breaks one of its legs would be ethically moral?
Well, I'd say
Because it's got more like of a human aspect to it. Because that's what's doing like all of the thinking.
I'd say way back in the day, yeah, 100% that's okay. But if they had existed with us, coexisted peacefully with us, and advanced along with us as time progressed,
Oh, you think
they'd probably would have advanced their own medical technology to put in like bars or screws, you know, do what humans do when they break a bone really bad.
Yeah.
But they'd implement some sort of technology that they'd use on for like normal.
And then we could stop putting down our horses.
Yeah, I'd say almost there'd be a problem with humans owning horses. Like if centaurs were in modern times,
Yeah.
they'd probably be advocates for not owning horses.
Do you think they would like? Do you think that would have like still be allowed? Do you think humans would still be allowed to own horses?
I'd say it depends on how much humans listen to centaurs. Like if they were a perfectly integrated member of society,
Yeah.
they'd definitely fight for it.
Interesting. Okay.
I think.
All right, then. Like, what about the horse races, like the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont Stakes? Do you think?
I think instead of having those, we'd have like centaur track events, like
Interesting.
centaur track and field, where they do
Okay.
stuff.
You think centaurs would be allowed in the Olympics?
That'd probably be like a big societal thing. Like,
Yeah.
they can't. They've got too much of an advantage on us.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like the only people who are gonna be the runners are gonna be the horses.
Yeah. If anything, I'd say they'd either have their own, or wouldn't be allowed in it, and then until 1 year, like, someone started the movement and allowed them in.
Yeah. You think they'd be allowed in shot put, at least, and like discus and like all the non-running events?
I'd say it depends on how like human sized their human half is. Like if it's just like a standard dude, yeah, totally. But if it's like a bigger, like more
Like a horse-sized man?
yeah, like a really just big dude on top of that horse, or like if their muscles were like a lot denser, or you know, there's a few things to consider there. Like
Yeah.
if they had a completely unfair advantage, probably not.
Could you imagine horse gymnastics?
I don't think there would be a horse gymnastics.
Are you
I think
telling me
they-
that you can't picture a centaur on the uneven bars?
I mean, no, I can. But I don't think their legs are necessarily designed to be as mobile as human.
Yeah, I guess. I
Like-
guess that would make a lot of sense.
Like they're
'cause,
made for running and jumping.
yeah.
That's about the extent of horse leg
You
design.
think you think a centaur could do a cartwheel?
No, but I'm not gonna lie when I say I kind of want to see one try.
I kind of want to see one try too. That'd be so funny to watch. Could you just imagine like a horse just vaulting over?
I mean, I think it'd be easier for them to like almost a front flip cartwheel. Where they just,
yeah, yeah.
like, do.
Yeah, yeah.
Legs
I see
over.
what, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And like what about like horses can't swim
Yeah, they
well. Well, I'm going to say
Oh, yeah.
well. They mostly what you do when you take a horse in water is you don't make them swim. You just let them walk in
Yeah, they.
and walk out. So when it comes to swimming events, do you think they would swim, or do you think it would be like low enough that they could just be like running through the water?
I'd say if it was unsafe for them to swim, because I cannot honestly say if horses are.
They can swim, just not very proficiently.
Yeah. So if it was a human and horse both swimming at the same time, they'd probably have to have it to where the centaurs could run on the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
But if it was just centaurs and they were strictly like, this is centaur swimming, then they'd probably have to make it so
have
they
to
were
do
swimming.
the swimming. Okay. Interesting. Okay. We set up an entire like lore of centaur sports.
Yeah.
What about centaur wrestling? Do you think that's a thing?
You'd have to take into consideration the fragility of centaur legs again.
I mean, yeah, but like horses still like to like run around and kind of like roughhouse a little bit. And
Yeah.
like my horses have like rolled around.
Yeah, like they like to roll and play. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like they wouldn't be like throwing each other around.
Well,
Like,
I mean, that's not what wrestling is. It's a lot more like close contact. I understand like some wrestling is.
wait, are you talking like high school, like and college wrestling, or are you talking like WWE wrestling?
I'm talking like high school. Like I'm talking Olympic wrestling. I'm not
Okay,
talking
then-
WWE. I'm talking Olympic.
Yeah, what came to my mind was WWE Centaur wrestling.
Oh my gosh,
I was
that would be so
I was
awesome.
like, no, they wouldn't do that. That'd be too
You
dangerous.
kidding me,
for
dude?
them.
A centaur on the top rope?
I'm not saying it wouldn't be amusing. I'm saying it would not be safe. But I'd say they definitely would wrestle.
Okay, cool.
I'm not sure why I pictured WWE wrestling when you said that because we were talking about the Olympics. But
I'm just like trying to think of other like Olympic sports that I think would be really funny to see centaurs doing.
tennis.
I was even gonna say table tennis would be funny. Like nothing's really super different because there's not a lot of movement. I just think that just centaurs playing table tennis competitively would be entertaining. Or curling.
Curling.
That'd be entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
You think you could put a centaur on the skis?
I don't know. Just switch to Winter Olympics
Yeah.
with centaurs. A lot of that would be crazy to see.
Yeah, it really would. Okay. I'm just
Speed skating.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Can horses skate?
Horses probably can't, but I'm guessing a centaur could learn.
I suppose you're right. That makes sense. I'm just trying to think of like what about trap shooting?
Why wouldn't they? They've got human arms.
Like I know I understand that, but like just picture it. Do you think that I think that'd be like not even necessarily like entertaining to watch, but like do you
I don't think trap shooting by itself is entertaining to watch.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't
Yeah, it'd be the same thing as a human standing there, as a centaur standing there.
Yeah, I suppose like it'd be like really really interesting the first time, because like that's a horseman shooting, but then like it's like afterwards you're like yeah that's pretty standard stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'd be all of it.
Like it'd be interesting the first time, and then after that you'd just kind of become disinterested.
Yeah, it's like guys.
I don't know. I feel like wrestling would never be not entertaining to watch centaurs do.
Yeah, I guess we'd have to see it before we.
Well, I'm just thinking of it from like a physique standpoint. Centaurs wrestling would be really goofy to watch because a horse's body doesn't like bend the way you would think.
Like, I'm sure if you studied enough mythology there, you'd come across stories of centaurs wrestling.
Okay.
Or someone trying to wrestle a centaur.
Yes.
So it was definitely probably something people have thought of.
Right. Okay, so do you think that we're going to go off the assumption that centaurs are allowed in the traditional Olympics and that they don't have their separate one?
Okay.
Do you think a centaur would be able to wrestle a human?
No, I'd say that wouldn't be fair just because of weight.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Like, you wouldn't be able
yeah,
to...
good luck trying to get in the same weight class when horses weigh up to 1,500 pounds.
Could you imagine a Clydesdale centaur?
Oh my gosh.
And, because the human body half would be, it would have to be similar in size to
Yeah, you would assume.
It would have to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Strong?
No.
Buff?
The word that means similar in size.
Similar in size?
Yeah. There's special word. It would have to fit. Like a pony centaur would have a smaller person
human
body.
Yeah.
And just imagine how big the human part
Of
on a Clydesdale would be.
Or just how majestic it would be.
Because
Like you know how like beautiful Clydesdales look? They have they always have these long luscious manes. So like I'm just picturing like super large man with like flowing hair. So like I don't even know what I would look like. And I'm just thinking of like other kind of just like your standard size. Like when you say the word horse, you just picture a regular horse.
Mm-hmm.
So would you just get like kind of your average Joe looking for that? Do you think?
Well, they could have all sorts of looks, but that's how I'd imagine their human half size wouldn't be that much bigger than a normal human half.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I agree. Well, I mean, I don't really think I have any other questions.
That's
have.
all you got for me today?
Yeah, dude. We've answered questions that I didn't even know I had. Now I have to think up of the entire lore of like Centaur Olympics.
We gotta get it all put together.
That's crazy. Do you think other cryptids would have their own Olympics? Like,
Yeah.
do you think like the Sasquatch do you think a Sasquatch would be allowed to compete with humans?
No.
Just because of the size difference? Because like a Sasquatch has to be like 9 times more powerful?
Yeah.
Okay, I would agree with that. I think they'd have to have their separate Olympics. Okay, well then, going off, like, assuming that a centaur can, like, at minimum be, like, about 1,200 pounds, just, like, giving a rough estimate, going off of what horses weigh,
Mm-hmm.
and going off of what, like, we can assume that a really large Sasquatch can weigh probably around 1,200 pounds, going off of, like, just, like, assuming the sizes of Sasquatches and centaurs.
Maybe.
Okay. Because, like, basically a Sasquatch is, like, a more humanoid, like, gorilla-ish. So, like, they're larger and they have a lot more, like, meat and weight to them.
Yeah.
So, do you think you could get a Sasquatch and a centaur in the same weight class and have them wrestle each other in the Olympics?
I'd say you could probably get them to wrestle.
Okay. But do you think there would be, like, some type of, like, ambiguity in the Olympics having them wrestle?
No idea.
Interesting. Do you think there's enough, like, centaurs and Sasquatches in various parts of the world to allow them to compete in the Olympics and
Well, it
represent
depends.
each different
Are you
country?
saying, as of right now, where we don't know if they actually exist as cryptids out there?
Right.
Or are you saying this is a society where Sasquatch and centaurs have coexisted with humans for thousands of years?
Okay, I'm going off of, let's say that centaurs just all of a sudden appeared. Do you think they'd be all over the globe? Like, let's say we just discovered centaurs. Like, they just decided to stop hiding.
If we discovered them and there were only small populations, there probably wouldn't be enough to have, like, an Olympics to their own right away.
Okay.
Like, if we'd been living with them for a long time and they have, like, a decent population...
Oh, yeah, they'd be all over the world at that
Yeah.
point. I'm just saying if they, like, all the centaurs in the world walked out tomorrow and said, we want our own Olympics, do you think there would be enough of them around the globe that they could represent different countries?
Well, if each country had their own come out of hiding, then yes.
Okay. But do you think that there's enough centaurs to represent the same amount of countries that are represented in the human Olympics every 4 years?
If every country had centaurs come out of hiding, then they could just send a male or female centaur to the Olympics.
I see. Okay.
Because if they're coming out in every country, then every country has a centaur they could send.
Well, like, what my question to you is, do you think every country would have a centaur? Do you think centaurs are all over the world? I guess would be...
No,
You
I don't.
Okay. That was basically the basis of my question. The basis of my last question, because I don't even know where I want to go from there.
All right.
So,
So,
thank you for tuning in to the second episode of What If.
let us know what you thought.
We got into a lot of weird stuff today.
Yeah. And it definitely was all over the place.
Yeah, we started out pretty normal and on track. And then somewhere along the lines, especially when I directed it specifically towards cryptozoology, but I was never expecting the Olympics to come into it, and we would talk about the Olympics for 10 minutes.
All right, well, let us know what you thought of today's episode and the What If series in general. Let us know if you want us to keep it going.
Yeah,
Or
no one
if you
said
think-
no one said anything against it, so we're
Yeah.
just gonna keep doing it until you do.
We'll keep it going until you guys let us know that you don't like it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and, this will be up on YouTube, so check it out there.
Yep, check out our other episodes up there too. I think we're up to episode
8 in
8.
the talks and episode 2 in
2.
What If.
Yeah, because this is episode 2.
Yep. So give those a check. Look us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook now. We've had the Facebook now for about a week.
Are we public on Facebook?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, just look us up at 2 o'clock talks.
you'll find it. We got
Yeah.
we got a pretty recognizable logo,
Yeah.
which we got to change at some point.
Should be changing here pretty soon, actually.
Ooh.
Be sure to keep tuning in to see what that turns into.
Yeah. All right.
You know. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time.